So you felt the acting was good. I felt it was The story then was strong or no. You know what? I want to say, and I realize that I hate talking bad about anybody else's labor of love, because I know that these guys that worked on it, everybody that worked on it, I'm sure, put a lot into it and stuff. But yeah. I think you would be better served watching Pontypool, or The Crazies.
Oh, yes.
Because you've got a very simple premise, which is good, but you can go a lot of different places with it. You get the signal, people start acting strangely.
It's a great concept.
World gone crazy, et cetera. So you can go a lot of different places with that. But I think there were better movies out there to enjoy. That's what I guess that's where I'll leave it.
Okay.
All right. If you had to rate it, what would you rate the movie? And there were, like I said, we talked a little bit about there's a little bit more gore, a little bit more. You start off with a.
I was going to say we didn't even talk about that. It is rated R.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's free with the gore.
Right, which isn't a problem per se.
Right.
But it starts off with what you think you're watching, like a Grindhouse 70s film, is what I was thinking at first.
Okay.
You start with that segment, and he goes back to it a couple of times, and I guess I almost felt like there was a commentary in there by the time you get to the end of the movie.
Really?
A little bit, a little bit of social commentary there at the end as to what we were watching and so on. But definitely, if for a gorehound, for somebody that just wants splatter and such, I would say it's worth watching.
Okay. How come I don't feel like it was that bad?
I don't know. Maybe I was more affected than you were.
Oh my gosh, I'm desensitized. Oh, how'd you like that kill last night on Z Nation? The zombie getting its head stepped on and the skull popping out of the skin. Oh.
There were so many. I was saving that for garbage.
Okay,
we talked about that, but whatever. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. The Signal, though.
The Signal. Getting back to that, what would you give it for a number?
You know what? I'm gonna have to. I kind of didn't like it. So I'm going to have to give it 2. I'm sorry.
I'm going to give it a 2, but then it has a recommend. Like I said, if you just want splatter, if you just want to see people with improvised weapons.
Well, and it's funny. It's funny.
There are definitely some funny bits in there.
Yeah.
And stuff.
If you like funny gore, then give it a try. But then, like I said, the beginning's kind of serious and the end is kind of serious.
Yeah.
It's got feel to it, too. I think they tried to throw too many things in. I don't know.
I appreciated them splitting the work between the 3 directors, but I think it would have been better served to maybe just 2 or 1, or let somebody else kind of helm the thing there,
Yeah. Hey, that I have to read the first sentence of the top review on Netflix. On Netflix. The top review makes it on the top because it's helped the most people. That's how it gets to be the number 1 review. The very first sentence is an interesting collaborative effort from 3 different directors. This horrific tale ranges from hectic and shocking violence to black comedy to social message.
There you go.
Is that not everything we just said?
We just said that. Why are you reading that?
I don't know. Why are we doing a podcast? Why are we even reviewing? I should just read the top reviews on Netflix every week.
I guess.
I don't know.
All right.
This person gave it 3, though. 3 stars out of 5, so.
Well, I feel okay giving this a 2 because there are people I would recommend it to.
Yeah.
I think your niece would enjoy this one.
Maybe.
Well, she likes a lot of. Anyhow, okay, we're getting off the topic here. So anyhow, with that. Having said that, let's move on and do garbage in, garbage out.
All righty.
Plenty to talk about here since it is the Halloween season. Of course, we did Trick or Treat.
Yes, we did.
We had our little visit with Sam again this year, and what fun. I can't believe that never made it out to the theater.
That's a crime.
It absolutely is. So, fun, good time horror for the season.
If you've never seen it, please get it. It's just a fun anthology type movie. Lots of little different stories that interconnect, and in a good way.
Yeah. We talked about...
and it's rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's super fun.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, Trick or Treat, please check it out.
So, yeah, okay. So then Z Nation, we talked about Z Nation not having TV, but having actually paid to buy the season of that, your favorite show, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this week's episode, was that the latest episode, or do we have are we one behind still?
Nope, we watched the latest one last night.
All right. Well,
we watched last week's and last night's.
Okay.
Or Friday nights.
Gotcha. So, fun for those that don't like The Walking Dead, I would say.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to bring up The Walking Dead now, and we're not going to harp on it and stuff because it's all over the internet and throughout the community. I will say the most disturbing thing about the season 7 opener, the most disturbing thing to me about that was the hate and the name calling afterwards.
Okay.
The show was bad enough, but for us was bad enough and stuff. But like the delight that I saw in some people that took in it, and making fun of other people. I'm talking about the fallout after the show.
So I got that. So when you say the hate and name calling, you mean amongst the people who watched it?
The fans or the anti-fans.
Okay. I didn't even want to say fans because everyone calls themselves a fan, but everyone's all over the place. So we've said this a million times. Shows, whatever, movies, books, stories. We're all different. We all like some things. We don't like other things. We're not all the same. It's very personal. It fits with your temperament and your personality. And like just the fact that people can't understand that. And like you said, calling each other out and calling each other names and like saying it's a fact that you're stupid because the show was this, period. And like being closed to any other, like that's the problem in the Walking Dead community. No one can get out of their own little bubble and nobody has any empathy. And it was disgusting how much everybody fought all week long.
So, having said that,
I think that's what you were talking about.
That's pretty much it, yeah. And it comes down to, we're no social justice warriors or anything like that. No, we're not. But
I have a cape in the closet. No, just kidding.
That's for later. That's mail order.
Okay.
So anyhow, the stuff, you'd have to watch The Island, I guess, to get that. Anyhow.
Yes, that's mail order.
The point was that, I don't get sports. I don't get people loving a sports team and being into that.
Right.
To me, that's I don't understand. But I don't make fun of people for doing it. I understand that they love that. So, make fun of other people because they felt bad because a character, it's just the depth of empathy is what I'm seeing there,
Absolutely.
And you don't have to agree with their opinion, but you at least should try to see their side of it, I think.
Yeah, because, a lot of people had the reaction of, oh, my God, that was so horrible. I don't know if I could watch this anymore. I'm not going to watch it anymore. I can't do this. And everybody was like, well, then you weren't a real fan, or you're just a big wuss, or bye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way. I don't know.
So it's just too bad to see that. I think that,
yes.
Yeah. So I think
I've seen the full spectrum. There was people traumatized from watching it, me, and then there were people that thought it was hilarious.
Right.
And I think there are a bunch of so, you know what I mean?
The meme started within an hour.
But I get it. But some people thought it was hilarious. Some people loved it just because they've been waiting for the moment. I understand. That's fine.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that. But let me be traumatized in my corner and don't tell me I'm not a real fan and I shouldn't be watching it.
Right.
Because I care more about those characters than the
yes.
So That's, but, can I really say that, though? I don't know. I'm not in their brains. So, again, you just got live and let live, people.
Well, it was interesting to me watching a reaction video of people reacting to the show as it was on, and even those that sat there with their own Lucille's, waiting for the show, enjoying what happened, as the show went on, even some of them were like, oh, okay, you can stop now.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it. Okay, so it had the whole range of effect and stuff, and I hate to see some of those extremes out there.
Right.
Enough about that.
Yeah, just the message here is people don't fight. It's okay. You're not really.
All opinions are valid except those that don't agree with me.
I'm not a big baby. I'm not a wuss, obviously. Yeah.
All right. So anyhow,
all feelings are valid.
Batman: The Killing Joke.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
It was okay.
Nah, it was bad.
It's not my thing anyway. Sorry.
That's okay. No, I wonder how you messed that up, because after saying all feelings are valid and so on, I'm saying this one was bad, and I had to see it to see that it was worth skipping.
Okay, what exactly are you talking about?
The Killing Joke, the Batman: The Killing Joke, the animated
movie. It was
length movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half
from the from the graphic novel, and it was front loaded with this story that wasn't in the original book,
right.
And what bothers me is reading, I believe it was the director that said that they had included the scene with Batman and Batgirl because it was controversial. So, like, if you set out deliberately to make it controversial, like that, to me, defeats the purpose.
You mean the scene where they're getting it on, or
that? Yes, that scene. You don't actually see that or whatever. But that was the other thing. They went for an R rating on this.
Yeah, what the heck?
And then didn't push it.
Yeah, she started to pull her top off, and then it just cut to the next scene. So I was like, did they? I don't know.
They had the R rating. They had the little bit of the language. Some of the characters just kind of came out flat and stereotypical.
Oh no, it was little more than a Saturday morning cartoon to me. It was very mediocre.
Yeah, so that I was sad about. So I enjoyed Mark Hamill as the Joker. His voice and acting and stuff in there. Mark Hamill, did a great job as that. He always does a great Joker and stuff. But they went for the R rating. I felt like you would be better served watching Batman the Animated Series and seeing a couple episodes of those. Those were even darker than this was, I felt.
Right. Well, there's a lot of hate for this thing online because I read the reviews, and it's the fans. They were like, what did you do? Like, this is awful. So.
Well, I read a little bit of it. I had to see for myself. I loved the book. I enjoyed it, and thanks. I'll waste another hour and a half of your life there.
Thanks for that.
That's what you signed up for 13 years ago. Yeah. All right. So, anything else for Laid to Rest?
I don't think so.
I think we'll just lay this episode to rest then.
We probably should.
I think we killed it.
Well, do you have a crawling chaos?
I just want to hear about chrysalises, chrysalize. Or maybe that's not even what you're going to do for crawling chaos, but
I wasn't going to, but I can.
All right.
Okay, so you would like to learn about the monarch butterfly chrysalis?
Yes, I would.
Specifically just about the chrysalis?
It doesn't have to be just about that. Tell me about their life cycle. I'm such a fan of Dr. Girlfriend and the Monarch.
Okay. Well, I wasn't really prepared to talk about their life cycle. I don't know if you cut out that little conversation we had earlier. But, okay, here's the deal.
What's the deal?
Well, my dad is very much into monarch butterflies right now, just to let you know this.
I
know this. He spends all of his time out in the front yard staring at his milkweed plants because that's the only thing that the monarch butterfly will lay its eggs on. So we've got little eggs on there. We've got little caterpillars on there. We don't have any chrysalis at the moment, but we did have 2 a week ago, and they both finally opened, and our monarch butterflies flew away.
All right.
As for their life, we won't talk about their whole life cycle, but they don't live very long.
No.
Yes, I was sad